Alright, so in this video we're going to take a look at success and making money with app development, and we'll also look at some statistics. Okay, so how much money can I make doing mobile app development? Alright, now that's a little bit of a trick question, and it kind of doesn't make sense in a few ways. Alright, so one way is it's not really about app development itself, but it's a means of delivery. All right, so an application is kind of like a website or a local shop. And if you went and you said, how much money can I make with a local shop or with a website? The answer is really $0 to millions of dollars. All right, it depends on the product, it depends on the developer, the marketing strategies. So there's not really an answer to that question. But through this course, I'm going to try to give you some tips, and we'll look at statistics and see what others have done, what's worked, what hasn't, and it all depends on the product, what you're developing, how you're developing it. What's great about building an application or a website or anything on the internet is that you have a worldwide market. All right, it's not like a local shop where you're limited to people in that city or that area. You have the whole world. Okay, anyone in the world can purchase your product. Anyone that has, the technology. So that's a huge advantage to mobile app development. All right, can you make it as an app developer? Of course you can. It's not going to be a cakewalk. It's not something that's easy. It's not, a fast way to make money. It does take hard work and dedication. Of course, it is definitely possible. You need to make a lot of the right choices as far as what you're building and how you're doing it. You want to stay up to date with all the latest technology and trends, and of course, smart marketing, which we'll cover in this course extensively. All right, so one of the huge decisions that you're going to have to make and really think about is if you want to sell your app on the App Store, if you want to offer it free and focus on advertising and making money that way. And now, if your goal is to make a lot of money, you might just think right away, I have to sell this. Well, that's definitely not always the answer. Paid apps do not equal more income. And if you look at the App Store's grossing chart, it has almost no paid apps. All right, so you have the choice for it to be absolutely totally free, or you can make it a freemium app where it's free to download and use or play, and then you can buy you can buy either more features or more points or in-game money or whatever it may be. So you do have a few options to choose from. All right, and most of the Android apps on the Google Play Store are free and are 100% reliant on advertising. All right, so it's a really important decision to make. All right, so let's take a quick peek at what some of the top paid mobile app developers are making. All right, so Supercell had an annual revenue of $892 million. King, who are the developers of the game Candy Crush, made a revenue of $563 million, and Zynga $183 million. All right, so if we look at Supercell, they made almost $2.5 million per day. All right, so this is what is actually possible in mobile app development. Now, obviously, these are very big companies, very big corporations, but nevertheless, it is possible. All right, and I should also mention that all of these apps are actually freemium apps. All right, so it's free to download, free to install, and money's being made through in-app purchases and advertising. So let's take a look at the App Store and the Google Play Store as far as number of downloads and all that. So in 2014, Google had 1.4 million available apps, and the Apple App Store had 1.2 million. Okay, so Google surpassed the App Store in number of downloads. You can see the chart down here. But iOS still made more money. All right, so it's not always the number of downloads gets you the most money. Okay, so why does the App Store make more? Well, users are usually from higher income families. All right, iPhones. It's just a fact that iPhones usually cost more than other phones. I mean, of course, there's, Android phones like the Samsung Galaxy and some of the real high end ones that are, in the same price bracket. But generally, iPhones cost more. So the people that spend more on their phone are apt to spend more on apps. All right, so in many parts of the world where Android is more popular, users may not have a credit or a debit card. All right, and then one big issue with Android is piracy. All right, so Android apps are pirated a lot more than iOS apps, and that does play a really big factor. All right, so let's take a quick look at the worldwide estimated revenue per download for iOS apps. All right, so you can see from October to March, it pretty much stayed the same. It went up a little bit, but we're at about, what's that, like 40, 50 cents per download. All right, so if you're having millions of downloads, then you're going to make a ton of money. All right, and this has to do with the average of all apps. So all the apps that make absolutely nothing are being factored into this. All right, so that's just to give you an idea. All right, so this is a chart it's an estimate of Google Play's revenue up to the year 2019. Okay, so an analyst from Credit Suisse estimated that it's going to go up about $2 billion every year. All right, up until 2019. So the bottom line is that the amount of money that you can make from building a mobile application is completely dependent on the product, the developer, and the marketing. All right, so the answer to the question, how much money can I make, is $0 to millions of dollars. All right, so the sky's the limit.